If you're a service business owner or a coach, then you've probably been through the very time-consuming process of having to create your own marketing content for your business. And it can be a very tedious process to have to sit down and brainstorm ideas for your videos and then sit down and actually script them. So in this video today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys an AI process that I personally use to write out my video scripts so that I can write them in as little as 30 minutes. All right, so before we get into this video, I would highly recommend that you watch the previous video that I made on this topic where I talk about creating the messaging of your videos, because in that video, I actually break down the process that I personally follow to get all of the source material that we're going to be using to feed ChatGPT. So be sure to watch that before watching this one. I would also recommend that you go into the description down below to download the custom GPT that I made, because it's something that I'm going to be using and it's something that I've personally trained on creating marketing content for my business and other people's businesses. So to quickly overview everything before I actually get into this, what I have here is a top shared pain points across all sales calls. And then if you haven't actually if you decided to be a little rebel and didn't watch the entire video already, basically what I did to get all of this information right here is I went through my past sales call transcripts, and then I took those transcripts and then loaded them all up into ChatGPT, and then I told it to extract the most common pain points across all of these sales calls. This is going to be extremely important because if you're a business that does a lot of sales calls and the main source of business that you get is closing deals from those sales calls, then ultimately you're going to need a system, a marketing system, to be able to get leads into your pipeline and into booking your calendar. And in order to actually do that, you're going to have content that sells people on the idea of the value of booking a call. So what I personally do to achieve that is I record all of my sales calls. I use Fathom AI. You can really use anything. It doesn't really matter what you're using, as long as it can generate a transcript. And then you take those transcripts, you load it into GPT, you extract all of the most common pain points, because that's the whole goal of a sales call, right? When you go through a sales call, you're learning if the service is actually valuable to the person that you're speaking to. You have to go through a sequence of questioning to extract the pain points. And then part of selling is that you use those pain points and connect it to the actual service or product that you're actually selling. So you need to approach it the same way with your content. So these are all the pain points that I was able to extract from my sales calls. And basically, just to go over it really quickly, number one, content that doesn't convert. 2, lack of in-house creative skill or direction, disjointed execution with freelancers and agencies, trust is hard to build, and so on. So this is the result that you're going to actually get from providing as many transcripts as possible. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to take all of this, and then I'm going to open up the custom GPT. Again, go into the description down below to sign up to download it if you want to work alongside with me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually paste all these pain points into the actual chat. And then I also have a prompt right here, which is basically a prompt that I created that will help you with creating scripts for video content, whether that be for ads or YouTube or Instagram Reels, whatever. This isn't the only framework that the custom GPT is trained on. I have it trained on a lot of different things, but just for simplicity and so I don't overwhelm you guys with too much information, I would say I'm going to provide this actual prompt in the email that you receive when you actually sign up to download it as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back to the GPT, and then I'm going to go Shift enter just so I can give it some space, and I'm going to paste it on top of the actual pain points. So what I've trained it to do at this point is it's going to ask you questions to get extra context on what exactly you're making the video for. So I would answer these as detailed as possible. The more detailed, the better, because the more vague you are or the less information that you give, the crappier the output that you're typically going to get. So just for the sake of the example, I'm just going to answer it as if I were personally using it for my own business. So number one, what type of video is this and how long should it be? I'm just going to put meta ad 60 seconds. Then number 2, what's the name of your business and what's the core offer? Takai Media, and my offer is done for you video content. Well, actually, it has it set up right here as the example, so I'm just gonna do that. Number 3, what authority should we lean on? Focus on outcomes tied to your goals, not vanity metrics. Examples you could use or adapt: revenue generated, ROAS improvements, leads booked. And what this means is, let's think, for example, from the perspective of the viewer. They are going to log on to their YouTube or their Instagram or their Facebook, and they're going to be bombarded with a whole bunch of different pieces of content. So you need to find some sort of way to establish yourself as someone who has authority, someone that can be trusted. And one of the ways that you can do that in video content is sharing some sort of authority statement. And that can be, if you are, let's say if you're an accountant, you've saved entrepreneurs millions of dollars through your services. Or if you're somebody who's, I don't know, an esthetician, like you are somebody who's cleaned up thousands of faces of acne. So these are all just examples. These are all just random examples. So leading with that can oftentimes just establish yourself as a credible person in your video content. So I'll answer something like generated millions for my clients. Number 4, here's a consolidated list of pain points your ideal client avatar faces. So these are the pain points that I basically pasted from the sales calls that I originally put in here. It's going to ask you which 1 to 2 pain points should be the core theme of this video. So you don't want to bombard the viewers with a whole bunch of different problems. You want to choose the one most common one that you can lean into with your actual content. And you could even ask ChatGPT, like, as you're going through that process of figuring out the list of pain points, you could also ask it, what do you find is the most common one that people are constantly bringing up? So in my case, I would say the most common thing that people face is posting content that gets attention but no leads or sales. So I'm going to paste that. All right, number 5, what is the meat of the content? So this is essentially where the value of the actual video is going to be. So a lot of people are going to say things like create valuable content, share valuable information, blah, blah, blah. This is basically where you're delivering the actual purpose of the video. And this is meant to be like the actual key takeaway of the video that people are supposed to get and to establish you as the authority. So examples would be a belief shift, a framework, behind the scenes explanation, a mistake, and so on. Just so I don't spend too much time thinking about it, I'm just going to type out why most service businesses waste money on content production. I'm going to click on enter. So now it's going to generate the actual script. If you're a service business posting videos that get views, likes, even comments, but somehow never turn into booked calls or sales, this is for you, because the problem usually isn't your editing, your camera, or even your talent. It's that your content was never built to convert in the first place. I'm the founder of Takai Media, and we've generated millions for service-based businesses by treating content like a sales asset, not a vanity play. Here's why most service businesses waste money on content production. They start with visuals instead of strategy. They shoot first, then hope it works. So the video looks good, sounds good, feels on brand, but it has no clear angle, no belief shift, and no path for the viewer to take action. Awareness without intent is just noise. At Takai Media, we flip that. We start with the conversion goal, engineer the message, then produce content that actually moves prospects closer to buying. If you want video content that doesn't just look good but drives real leads, book a free strategy call below and we'll map it out for you. So this is pretty decent in my opinion. Obviously, ChatGPT is not always going to deliver you the most top-notch thing that you can just use right away. If this was me and if I was going to actually use this script, I would probably workshop it a little bit, but this is going to give you a pretty good starting point. And that's really the whole purpose of using ChatGPT to write out your content, is to provide it data, to provide it relevant data on the market that you're trying to speak to, the details of your actual offer, and and the overall goal of what the content is, the more, like I was saying before, the more information that you provide to it, the stronger the output it's gonna give you. Just so I don't make this YouTube video extremely long, I just went with very simple explanations. So that's why, in my opinion, the output is probably, I'll give it like a C+ to B. But I would say the more descriptive that you actually are with it, then the stronger output that you're gonna get. And if you want to see a case study where I actually apply these methods to one of my own clients and it resulted in him getting 30 new clients in 1 month, then click on this video right here to view it.